Welcome to Sweethearts or Rivals. I'm Charla.
I'm Justin.
And this is our video podcast number 20.
Number 20.
This is going to be a look back at December.
Yep. But it's coming out to you in January of 2017.
Happy
Brand new year. Woo! So what are we looking at?
We usually talk about acquisitions.
Yeah.
Games we've played.
Mm-hmm.
And what's come on our radar.
Right on.
So what did we acquire in the month of December?
Nothing!
Right. We were supposed to get Christmas presents, but then we decided to wait for the Boxing Day sales to happen.
That's right. Yep. And we did.
Right. So we'll have all kinds of stuff coming in January.
Yes.
So we're going to take this section of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I saw an interesting question over the holidays.
Yeah.
And they were wondering, what's a good board game retailer online in Canada?
There we go.
So I thought maybe we'd talk about all the ones that we found. Because
Nice.
there's quite a few, actually.
Yeah. Surprisingly, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where's the very first place that you search for board games when looking online?
boardgamebliss.com. That's the first place I go to.
Yes. They usually generally have a lot of selection.
Yes.
And their prices are really good.
Yep.
And they have one of those special things, if you have so much money spent, you'll get free shipping.
Yep. They have a rewards point system, so as you buy stuff, you can get rewards for later. They have a large selection of imports, which is really nice, so hard to find stuff sometimes. And they have a hold system as well. So you can go on and buy a single game and hold it, and then later on get more games, add to it, and so you can get them all shipped for once and save on shipping.
Right, but you only get free shipping if one order, like your last order, is over a certain amount of money.
That's true.
Right.
And you can't hold them forever either.
Yeah, I think it's 3 months or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. But they're really good. Customer service is excellent.
Yep.
So where else do you look online?
The second place I would go to would be greatboardgames.ca.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They have almost as good as a selection as Board Game Bliss, but a lot of the more popular games they tend to have more of.
Right.
Whereas Board Game Bliss has become quite popular in Canada and the States, so when they get something new in, it tends to be gone.
Sells really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Great Board Games also has a good setup for if you have so much, you can get free shipping. You can put things on hold, stuff like that, and good prices.
Awesome.
Yep.
What's the third one?
Quiche Games.
And I think they're.com as well.
quichegames.com.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. They don't have as good of a selection as the other two, but again, when they get those games in that are popular, they tend to have more of them.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they get role-playing books in, stuff like that.
Yep.
Their prices are comparable.
And it's funny, they seem to have really good Boxing Day sales.
Yes. Yeah, I was looking at our order this year, and then I looked at our previous orders, and the last time we ordered from them was last Boxing Day.
And it was a huge amount that we got too.
Yeah. So that's a good place too.
Yep.
Yep.
So the next one, we used to order from Starlit Citadel all the time.
Yeah.
Before these ones came online.
Yeah.
But they're at West.
Yes, they're
so
in BC.
to get everything shipped from BC to Nova Scotia, it's a little pricey.
Yes.
But they also have a good selection.
Very good selection.
So if you're on the West Coast,
Yep.
maybe Starlight's one of the places you want to check first.
And they have a selection of things that go beyond just board games. So role-playing games, miniatures, a lot more of that kind of stuff than just focused on board games.
Yeah. And they're a .com.
Yep.
Yeah. So another one as well that's really cool is snakesandlattes.com.
Yep.
Because they have a cafe in Ontario, but they also sell board games online.
Yep.
And the neat thing with them is that all the games in Canada, if they ship to you in Canada, is free shipping.
Yeah, straight up free shipping. So if there's like one game you really want to get, you can just get it and it just ships for free.
Right.
And when we first found them, their prices were quite a bit higher than some of these other places, but I've noticed that their prices have become quite comparable.
Nice.
Yeah, which is awesome. Plus free shipping on top of it.
Free shipping's awesome. Because when you have to spend $15 to $20 on shipping, that's like a half of a game you could have bought.
Yeah.
Or
that's
one
nice.
whole small game. Yeah.
So that's really good.
And then there's 3 more that are also good to search for when you're looking for games.
We haven't ordered from these guys, but there's 401games.ca, woodforsheep.ca, and meeplemart.com. And for Meeplemart and 401, they tend to have a very large selection of stuff that's outside of board games. So comics, miniature games, video games, role-playing games and that kind of stuff. So they're kind of a bigger instead of focused. So usually when we're looking for something specific, they might not have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Wood for Sheep is a smaller store. So it's good to check them out when you're looking for something that everyone else has sold out of, just to see, because
sometimes they'll have copies.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And those are all the online board game stores that you can order from in Canada that we know about.
And if anyone else knows of any online retailers for board games, let us know. Put them in the comments below, because we'll add them to our search lists.
Yeah.
And when we're searching for those hard-to-find games or looking for a good deal, we want to have as many options as possible.
Absolutely.
Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Why did we not mention Amazon.ca?
Because we don't order from them very often at all.
The prices are horrible.
Yeah. It kind of bugs me a little bit because you see all these posts online about, oh, Amazon's got this great deal. This board game's on sale for such a great price. And then I jump on Amazon.ca and it's not a good price.
On Twitter, there's a board game deals that you can follow.
Yeah.
And they always post the American, like the .com.
Yeah.
Which they have amazing sales on Amazon.
Yeah.
But Amazon.ca, never, hardly ever. Like, you pretty much have to have a wish list and check it every day.
Yeah.
To see if a sale comes on.
Yep.
Which is kind of a hassle and a waste of time, so I stopped doing it.
Yeah. I think I was looking at, because I happened to be on Amazon.ca the other day, and I was looking for other stuff, and I thought, well, I'll just check. Maybe they have copies of Terraforming Mars? And they did, for like $170. So that's the other thing with Amazon nowadays, is anyone can sell through Amazon. So all these people are setting up these things to resell stuff at crazy prices because they're out of stock, and that's just ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah.
Don't feed that monster.
No.
No, look at these online retailers first. You'll get better deals.
Yeah.
And you're supporting, like, small business stores.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, medium probably. Some of them are probably pretty big businesses. I don't know how big or small they are. Anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right on. So next month we're going to have more acquisitions because all of our Christmas stuff will come in.
Right.
We have a couple of Kickstarters on their way.
It's true. So should we move on to what we played
in
the month of December?
Yep.
Now, we played more games than this, but this is basically games that we've played new to us, or like with a higher player count that we want to add on to, like something we mentioned in a previous podcast or video.
Yep.
So what's our first one that we played new to us in December?
Sealand.
Well, we had played it one time 100 years ago.
Yes, exactly. Hundreds of years ago.
A long, long time, though. Yeah.
Yeah, so we played Sealand again. A couple times, actually. And that was kind of neat.
Yeah, you thought you didn't like it from that very first play we had, like, all those years ago.
Yeah. And even the second play, I was like, I still don't know if I really like this. And then a couple of kind of strategies started to come out, and I'm starting to pick up on how you should play the game. And now it's getting a little bit more interesting, a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very pretty game because you have windmills and you're building flower farms.
Yep.
Or flower patches. Or yeah. And it has an interesting rondelle on how you purchase them.
That is very interesting. It's an interesting game because learning the rules is very simple and quick and easy, and then afterwards you realize there's all these little tricks that you could do that are not immediately apparent. So there's kind of hidden depths.
Yeah, it takes a couple of plays, I think, to like even figure out how to really manipulate how you purchase.
Yeah.
And then even placement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. We also played Fury of Dracula.
Yes, and we got to play it with 5 players.
Yep.
And we also played it with just the 2 of us as well.
Yes. It's interesting. In the 5-player game, I played Dracula and lost horribly.
He didn't have any, what's it called on
influence.
He didn't have any influence at all on the track.
No.
At all.
And I realized very quickly that one of the things that can happen is the people who are against Dracula can have like table talk. There's actually a section in the rulebook about the table talk. And it has to be all open, except for in very specific instances. And I kept hearing people talking about certain things and then adjusting my plans accordingly. And all of the table talk was designed to specifically manipulate me into doing the wrong things. And it worked out quite well for them.
I didn't even notice that going on.
Yeah. Well, I didn't notice it until after when I got my butt kicked. Because, yeah, it was horrible.
That's funny.
0 influence. 0. None.
And then when we played just the two of us,
Yes.
I was Dracula that time.
Yep.
So it was interesting because I found myself thinking, well, I have to run away. I have to avoid them at all costs. But then I realized, no, I have to go on the offensive. I don't care if I run into these people. Like, Dracula's a meanie, and he can take them on.
Yeah.
So I think there's a fine line of running away.
Yeah.
But you also have to confront them too to get the renowned.
Yeah. Because we had like 2 battles fairly early in the game.
Influence. I don't know why I said renowned.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
It's okay. We had 2 battles fairly early in the game, and because of your clever card play, you managed to take out my hunters.
I don't know if it was clever.
It worked out really well.
I think it was just luck.
Maybe. But you managed to take out my hunter and gain a whole bunch of influence because of it.
That was fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's an interesting game. Haven't quite figured out how to play that correctly yet.
Not yet, but I think we could do a playthrough, though.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I find having to run all 4 of the hunters wasn't overwhelming because really on your turn, there's not a lot they can do.
No.
Yeah.
You have to do all your moving in the day.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just have to figure out something good to do at night. But sometimes there's nothing good to do at night, so you just pass anyway.
Yeah. Which is, on one side, it seems kind of annoying. Like, isn't there more stuff I can do? But at the same time, you're supposed to be paying attention to a lot of stuff that's going on Dracula's side. So if you don't have a whole lot of things to manage, you can focus more on what is Dracula doing. And I think that's the point.
Right.
So that was interesting.
Yep.
Cool.
And a question, do you like it better with 2 or the full complement?
I don't know.
We don't have enough experience yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I played as Dracula when we had everybody, and then I played all the hunters. But I think I was worried that taking care of 4 hunters was going to be too much, and it really isn't.
Yeah. And then when I played as a hunter, I played with someone who already played, so I kind of just let them, dictate the strategy, which I don't know if I got a good experience playing a hunter that way, because I kind of felt like, well, I'm not as experienced, I'm just going to go by their experience.
Yeah.
Which may not have been the right thing to do, I don't know. We'll see.
Don't know. It was interesting, though. Looking forward to more plays.
Yes.
Yeah. What else did we play?
We got to play Firefly Legendary Encounters with 4 people.
Nice.
So how did that change the game between 4 and 2?
I didn't feel like it changed it a whole lot.
No. You still kind of felt like you weren't going to win at all.
Yeah.
Like, you felt you were doomed the whole time, which you do feel like that in a 2-player game too.
Yeah.
But luckily, like, at the very last minute, you managed to pull out the win.
Yeah. Which tends to happen quite a bit in Firefly. Yeah.
The legendary encounters.
Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't feel like it changed it a whole lot, which was okay. Except, you have a whole lot less opportunity to build your deck. So that was a big part of the change. My deck from the beginning to the end didn't change a whole lot at all. And at the very beginning, I didn't grab cards that let me recruit, and they didn't actually let me do a lot of damage either, and I found I was very ineffective for most of the game, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, because when there's only 2 people playing, you have a little bit more control over, I'm going to focus on this, and you can focus on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're playing with the 4, you're like, well, that's probably the best card for me to take at this point.
Yeah. The flip side of that is there's a whole lot more opportunities to have possible coordinate happen.
Yeah.
Because you can't coordinate on your turn. You can only coordinate when it's somebody else's turn, but then there's 3 of us who could possibly have coordinate cards to help one person out.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool as well. So possibly less cards, deck building, but more opportunities for other people's decks to help yours.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. It was fun.
We also got to play mechs versus minions with 4.
Wow, does that ever change the game?
That changes the game a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in a 2-player game, you're drafting 2 cards instead of 1. So again, you're building your kind of mech a whole lot slower when you're not playing a 2-player game.
It is.
Yeah.
And we played the one where you had to push the bomb to the blue square.
Yep.
And it was really hard to get the movement that
Yes.
you needed to get that bomb to the blue square with 4 people.
Yeah. It was interesting because 2 of us, me and another player, were stuck with the bomb in the school area or whatever it's called for a really long time. And then you and another player just kind of got the movement cards early and just charged right out and started slaughtering minions left, right, and center. But we couldn't get the bomb to move.
And we kept them clear for the most part, but then there were like almost 4 rounds in a row where the bomb took damage and we're like, well, we're done.
Yeah.
There's no way we can do it.
It became a very interesting, very tense puzzle of, okay, I can move the bomb this turn
But
and
should
get
I?
it too closer, but as soon as I do that, when the spawn phase happens, it's going to take that one last damage and blow up. And we were so close to having it.
Yeah.
And then
like
we failed.
1 turn away.
Yeah. And I was actually a little bit concerned that the game was too easy, because in a 2-player game, it just seemed too easy.
Yeah.
As soon as there's more than 2 players, the game...
I think it got more difficult.
Yeah,
Or maybe
much
it's
more.
just how the cards got dealt out or how we built up our tableaus or something.
Maybe.
But yeah, it seems from our experience it could be more difficult with more players.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game's fun every time.
Yeah, that was cool. Right on. Anything else?
That seems to be all that we played new to us or that we want to talk about a little bit more.
So, games that entered onto our radar?
Well, it's funny, in December, because we were going to buy some stuff for Christmas, we basically just took what was on our radar previously and researched.
That's true.
Because we couldn't buy all the games we wanted. So we had to pick and choose which ones we were going to get.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's where we focused all of our research for the month of December.
There we go.
So nothing new came on our radar.
Not a whole lot, no. Maybe next month.
You never know.
Anything else we're going to talk about?
Well, we did have a chance to be playtesters for a game that we weren't allowed to talk about until the game was actually out there for retail.
Yep. And that game was?
The new Citadels game.
Yeah.
So, we can't talk a lot about the prototype. We're actually not allowed to talk about the prototype.
Correct.
Right. We're allowed to talk about the retail version.
Yep.
But I had played the old Citadels game a long time ago.
Yes, a while ago, yep.
Yep. And then having a chance to play the new one with all the new characters.
Yep.
I really like all the new characters in the new one.
Yeah. The more, there's more options, so there's more replayability, which is nice.
And it's nice that there's more powers to choose from.
Yeah.
Because if you really didn't like one of the powers of the original group, you can just switch it out for someone new.
Yes. I did like that there's a list of combinations included, so you don't have to do a whole lot of research and then try to figure out what works and what doesn't. But on the flip side, if you are someone that enjoys getting a whole bunch of possibilities and exploring that, there's that also available. Here's a bunch of combos that work, and then play around with it if you want to.
Right.
So that's kind of cool.
And I really enjoyed the new artwork.
Yeah.
Because I found the old artwork a little on the bland side.
Yeah.
So when you have a game it's sort of a lighter game, a lighter style game.
Yeah.
It's nice to look at something pretty while you're playing.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, it's true.
Yep. Yeah, that was interesting. Hopefully we'll have more opportunities to do playtesting this year.
That'd be awesome.
That would be kind of cool. Right on. That's podcast 20.
I think that wraps it up.
Yep.
Thanks for watching and or listening.
Thanks a lot.
And we'll talk at you later.
Laters.
Right, that we know. And if anyone else knows of any boardline retailers, yeah.
And it's almost kind of bugs me a little bit because you see all these poists.